Hi guys, I'm Chormi, welcome back on my channel. Today I'll show you Ultimate Beat for Carnival by Kanye West, Rich the Kid, Playboi Carti and Dolla. This beat was made by Kanye West, Dolla, The Lab Cook, Digital Ness, Legendary Trackster and Oye Volta. So let's begin with the breakdown. First thing, we got this big choir from the Inter Hooligans. Obviously you all already know how it sounds, so I'm gonna pitch it up to avoid copyright strikes. Before talking about the music theory behind this choir, let's move on to the first synth that you can hear in the production. It's this abnormous synth bass. As you can see, the waveform matches perfectly with the original one. I don't really know how I managed to get this to sound so identical. In this case, I'm using Serum to recreate this bass. The first waveform is a MB so. I think the MB stands for Moog bass, maybe. 10 voices for the unison and the detune is on 0.30. Then we got some white noise and the triangle wave that I'm using to frequency modulate the first waveform. So as you can see, the volume for the second oscillator is 0. The waveform is a triangle, the unison is set on 4 and the detune is 0.10. And as you can see, I'm using the FM that is set to 45% to modulate the first oscillator. Without the FM, this bass sounds like this. The FM is adding some harmonics on top of the saw wave. And then we got some diode distortion set at 39%, the mix is 36, and then some EQ for the subs and the hair. And then I'm using a fab filter and a thermal. The notes that they're playing are the F, the C sharp and the G sharp. The melody is in the C sharp major scale, but they're using the Phrygian mode, the third mode of the major scale. For the bass, they're using the 1, the 6 and the 3. I almost forgot about the mono, legato and portamento effect. And then I also have this LFO set as an envelope that is adding some pitch attack on the master tune to add this punch to the bass. Let's move on to the verse. We got this lead that is playing the same melody as the choir. It's a simple saw vibrato lead, so I'm using 3 saw waves on 3 different octaves. The unison is set to 2 for the first oscillator and the detune is 0.17, and then I'm using some distortion, EQ and hyper. Obviously the most important thing in this case is the LFO that is controlling the fine to give it this vibrato effect. Then we got this power chord synth that is playing in the background. It's adding some lows and some energy to the whole production. As always, I'm using Serum, 3 different saw waves. The first one is on -3, the second one is on -2, and the last one is on -1 plus 7. So I'm adding a 5th on top of the other saw waves. The unison is set to 6 and the detune is 0.18. A little bit of filter and resonance and distortion. The notes that are playing are just the root notes of the chord progression. The progression is on 1, 4, 2, 6, 4. As you can see, if we take these root notes here and we move them to the lead pattern, you can see that what they're doing with the choir and the lead is just playing the fifths of these chords. So we have the C, the F, the C sharp, the G sharp and F again. I was waiting this moment to show you the music theory behind the choir and the lead, because when you analyze it from this point of view, it becomes so easy to understand what they're doing. As you can see, this lead is also played 1 octave lower here. In this case I'm playing it directly from the synth, but I think that in the original production they actually resampled the first lead and then they pitched it down by an octave. This is what I'm talking about. As you can hear, it sounds more dirtier than the previous one. Then we got the 808, I'm using Serum, 1 analog beat design wave, and then 1 DS saw and triangle. I put the random on 0 to avoid phasing issues, some white noise in the background, and then this filter that is set to 1047, and the resonance to 37%. Distortion and EQ. And obviously I'm using the envelope pitch trick to add some attack and punch to the 808. For the effects I've got some Decapitator and Saturn. They're playing the 1, the 2 and the 6th. They're playing the same 808 on 2 different octaves. This variation is really cool because it helps to create more space in the first part of the verse, and then you can really hear the 808 adding some more lows for the second part of the verse. Then we got the drums. I think I'm using the real clap and snare samples. The clap is hitting on the 3 and on the 3 and the 4. And then we got the snare. Open hat on the 1, the 4 and the 3. Simple 2-step hi-hats. And then the kick on the 1, the 4 and the 2. Tape stop for the lead. And then we got this pluck enhancing the same rhythm as the snare. I'm using Serum to recreate it. I have this bipole harmonic and this sub DSK perk waveform. It's like a sine wave but with more harmonics. The bipole is at -1 and this sub is at +1. A little bit of noise, and then the most important thing is this FM from B. The filter is set to 850 and the resonance to 37, and then we got a lot of distortion and hyper. For the effects I'm using a decapitator and this weird EQ from FL. I've also got this Fab filter. I think they're playing this note here. The last element for the production is this guitar here that is used as a bridge. I'm using Contact with this guitar, the rhythm rock guitar, and I'm using this preset from the guitar rig. With this guitar they're just playing around the F, so the root note of the scale, and then the D sharp that is the 7, the A that is a 7 from the harmonic minor, and then they're also using this blues note here, the B. And these notes here are in triplets. So this is the final result for Carnival by Kanye West. That's all for this video. Smash a like and subscribe if you liked it. I will leave all my link in the description if you want to support me. I have a Patreon page where I upload all the FLPs from my remakes, Instagram if you want to follow me, and BeatStars if you want to check out my beats or drum kits. Bye and see you in the next video.